How is everybody doing? Day 26, wow, of our husband's boot camp. Day 26, and we are in the middle of the five languages of love from Dr. Gary Chapman. And we were just discussing the three of them that we had before, which was gifts, words of affirmation, acts of service. And today, this was known as actually going to be two of them, because one of them I don't want to dwell on too much, but one of them I do. The fourth one is quality time. Quality time. Again, the premise of Dr. Chapman's book is that each one of us translates love in a different way. I could say that I love you 100 times. You may not receive that as love if I don't do something that to you shows my love. Meaning, each person has a different way of translating what they think love means to them, and each person has a different way of manifesting love. So, if my way of manifesting love is to do, let's just say, acts of service to you, to do favors for you, so I'm showing you love in my way. I'm trying to communicate that to you, but you're not receiving that because to you it may be words of affirmation, or something like that. And so this one is a very simple one: quality time. Quality time. We all, every relationship needs quality time. Needs time where you show the other person you are the most important person to me right now. Nobody else makes a difference. You are it. Unfortunately, so many times we take quality time with our wife, we have our phones with us, and we're always never in the moment. A husband has to be present. You have to be there. You can't be flighty, thinking of different things and thinking of business, thinking of work, thinking of the kids, thinking of your baseball game, thinking of a million different things are going through the male ADD mind rather than what really should be important is to his wife. And now, in some circumstances, a wife may translate it as okay, this is my husband. He's just crazy, and I'm still confident he loves me. In some places, a wife, I don't understand. You love whoever's on the phone more than me. You look at your phone more than me. You like your phone better than me, and that shows the wife, almost communicates to her that she's not that important. I'm going to tell you a great story. It's not about husband and wife, but you could understand the story. There was a boy who and I don't know which year it was, seventh, eighth grade, was a big troublemaker, and all of a sudden he turned around his life, and he became valedictorian, and it was rocking and rolling. And at the end of high school, one of his teachers said, I remember you in grade school. You were not a great kid. What turned things around? And he said, I got in trouble, and I sat in the principal's office. He said, and all of a sudden, as I'm sitting there, the principal gets a call from a very important person. He says, I know who it was. He said, and the principal told the person on the phone, he says, I can't speak to you now because I have somebody very important right now in my office. He said, when he told that to that person, like it just changed my thing that I'm important to the principal. Wow. I felt like differently about myself. Sometimes when we communicate with our wives that our phones are more important, what are we saying? You're not that important. So then you turn the person into somebody who doesn't want to be great. But when you show your spouse that they are the most important person, at least during the times that you're giving quality time, they rise to the occasion. When you go out with your wife, when you take time with your wife, make sure she is the only thing that's on your mind at that moment. You're hyper focusing on her. Nothing else in the world makes a difference. She is the most important person to you at that moment. I believe, in my opinion, that every husband and wife should take 15 or 20 minutes a night together where everything is shut off and they're just talking and they're just focusing on each other. And definitely, without a doubt, there should be one night a week, where there should be a date night where we shut everything off and it's just us. I think it's such a tragedy. I see couples eating in restaurants while my wife and I are enjoying our company. We shut off our phones. We don't ever look at them. And then you see other people that are actually talking on their phone while they're eating. Like, what's the point of taking your spouse out at that moment when you're not even giving them the attention that they deserve? It's so counterproductive and counterintuitive. It doesn't even work. It's not effective. So we're going to now make it in our minds that we are going to show quality time to our wife every day, even if it's 5 minutes. And then, of course, once a week with some sort of date night that changes the dynamic of the marriage in a huge, huge way. That is the fourth act of service. I'm sorry, that's the fourth language of love, which is quality time. There is a fifth language of love, which is physical touch. I don't want to talk about this a lot. I didn't talk about intimacy a lot on this because I think that although it's maybe a huge component to marriage, maybe the most important component of marriage, it's not something I want to talk about publicly. But here, physical touch is extremely important. I had a guy tell me a couple of weeks ago, he says, you don't understand, it gets me nervous. He says, I go to sleep and my wife, she wants to like lie down on me, and it's just annoying because I just want my space. Now, that person's wife obviously looks at physical touch as a form of showing love. All of us have to make sure that when we are with our wives in a physical way, it is not just for the end result. I don't want to talk too explicit, but it's not just for what we want. You understand? There should be physical touch without that, because otherwise a wife will feel like she's just, that's all I am, is a way for you to get what you want. You understand? A person should always have some sort of physical touch with his wife that's void of the actual intimacy, hugs, kisses, just holding hands, cuddling together, things like that show love, that are needed, that do not have with it the actual intimate component with it, are extremely vital and important in a marriage. Take care and have a great day. How is everybody doing? Day 26 test. Very simple, since we spoke about that. Our day 26 lesson was the importance of real, pure quality time. Shutting the phone off. I happen to have the thing. I started it a few months ago. It really works. When I come into my door, I shut the phone for a couple of hours. I actually give the phone to my wife, and it actually works. It's a great trick, but that's not going to be our task of the day. Our task of the day is to make some sort of commitment with your wife on quality time. Either 10 minutes a night of just you two talking over a cup of tea, or over a piece of cake, or over a piece of fruit, and just sitting and talking, or maybe just sitting in bed together before you close the lights and having an actual 10-minute discussion or a 10-minute talk, undivided attention. Or you're going to institute a date night, if you do not have one, once a week, where you guys get together. A number of years ago, my wife and I did this trick and it really worked. We should continue it, where each date night we switched off who comes up with the idea. One night she has to come up with the idea, then the next night I have to come up with the idea. And we used to do like fun things together, and she would surprise me with whatever her idea was, and I would surprise her with whatever my idea was, just a suggestion. But the idea of the task is either make 10 minutes of night or make a date night. You should have both, but at least one of those things.